Okay. I just need to read. Okay, we're good? We're live? Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Today is Monday, July 24th, 2023. The time is 9 a.m. I'm going to call this special called meeting of the B County Commissioners Court to order. We are physically located at B County Courthouse, Commissioners Courtroom, number 110, 105 West Corpus Christi St, Beeville, Texas 78102. That was the call to order. Would everybody please stand and join Commissioner Olivares in brief prayer?
Heavenly Father, thank you for allowing us all to be here this morning, being alert, and also thank you for the little bit of rain that we had yesterday. It was well needed here in certain areas. A little bit further south would have been a little bit more helpful. But thank you for allowing us to come together today and with all these bright minds that we're able to make the right decisions here in this court. Please bless us all that are here today and others. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Commissioner. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And the Texas Pledge.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
I know, man. I'm really just feeling it. That's good. It's like twice in a row. I know. I'm getting over my mental block with the Pledge of Allegiance and the Texas Pledge. I like to conflate them. And it's very embarrassing. I don't remember. This is, we're going to go on to, this is recognition of visitors. Agenda item number 4. Are there any visitors in the audience who would like to identify themselves? This is not public comment. Public comment will come in agenda item number 6. This is merely recognition of visitors. So in a general sense, thank y'all, all that are visiting today, all of our folks that are here that come weekly and or not weekly, but every meeting or periodically during our meetings. Thank you for coming. Is there anybody who'd like to identify themselves for the record only? Hearing none, we'll move on. Agenda item number 5, Commissioners Court opening remarks. I think it's Commissioner Olivares this time, right?
Sure.
Okay, go ahead.
Good morning, everyone. First of all, I'd like to start out with some recognition. First of all, again, to all the first responders, fire departments that responded to the incident that occurred in Tynan. Thanks to Mr. Ryan Garza and Mr. Delegado Garza. They held a action item review meeting last week, and it was pretty good. A lot of people came to the meeting, met a lot of awesome people, had a lot of great energy as far as identifying some key important points on how we can improve if we ever have another major emergency. So a lot of good things. Examples, getting the dogs in a little bit quicker, ensuring that we have the proper equipment and tools available, and then most important is training, facilitating, having everyone on board to understand, who's really in command when a situation like that occurs, and also who is going to be some subordinates to that command officer so he can assist in ensuring that people are put in the right location. So great meeting. A lot of people showed up. I had to guess probably, I wish Ron was here, probably close to 50 people were there. So very good event. Also, I'd like to recognize the Skidmore Fire Department. They hosted a breakfast for the combat veterans of South Texas. Pretty awesome group. Again, I'm very thankful to all the military personnel that served. I did not serve, but I'm very thankful that they are keeping us safe. And I did mention that in spite of all the things that are going on in the world today, we still live in one of the greatest nations in the world. Had the opportunity to travel in many different countries abroad, and until you do that and see how people live in other countries, we still live in a great country. So that's going to be good. As far as just some general information, I'm going to be meeting with the Sheriff's Department again this week just to really broaden my understanding of some of the contracts that we have in place with the AC and see how we can mitigate some of the problems that are reoccurring with the AC. In Tynan, I met with some constituents concerning speeding and traffic lights to see what we could do about it. As far as the water systems, we're waiting on the hydrocyclones to be delivered, and then we're also waiting some additional documentation from them so April can complete her task. So thank you for getting that out. Also, I'd like to recognize Commissioner DeWitt for assisting and providing some guidance on how do we properly manage pets in the area, and also, more importantly, is trash on personal property, which, because we live in unincorporated community, it's very difficult to do anything about it, but there are several people in the area that are starting to complain and would like to see something done about it. So we have some creative ideas that might be able to help and mitigate the situation. Thank you, Commissioner.
Yes, sir.
I like this.
And that's it for today.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Codius?
Last week, I attended the North and East Conference representing the South Texas Judges and Commissioners. I was there for 2 days, and then I attended the Texas, the TCDRS, which is our retirement system that we put into. Everything is well. I was there for 2 days there. And Friday, I had a visit with Natalie Gonzalez. She's our grant writer for the Mid-Mod project, and she said she's already starting to get a few ROIs, some requests of information for the projects that we listed down, that we applied for. Got a call for a sign in Blanconia, and I called Ms. Molly. Molly took care of that. It was a sign that was donated by the county to Blanconia Fire Department, and the letters are peeling off. They were requesting another one, so they're going to see what they can do for it. Our maintenance guy, got with Bear Roofing to check the Community Affairs building, and they're looking at sealing the envelope on the west side to stop the leakage from that. And they also checked the Langley building for a new roof. And then I received a resignation from one of the members in the library board, Ms. Edie Bethune, and we'll put this on the agenda for next go around, and we'll consider that. All right? I'll pass to Commissioner DeWitt.
Thank you, Commissioner Codius.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Commissioner. Thank you, Judge. Before I get into the meat of my information, we have a young man here that has a birthday today. And he works for the sheriff's office, and he's the chief deputy. So, let's sing happy birthday to the chief deputy.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Chief Deputy. Happy birthday to you.
And many more. Congratulations, sir.
His red face compliment.
Yeah, it does compliment.
Now, to the meat in my program here. Those of you that know, we were fervently looking for a third collection station for the county. We located what we thought was going to be a good idea. We fleshed it out with the city. Everything was going good, and then we realized when we thought we had money to put it in, the money evaporated. So that third collection station is on hold. It'll come back again sometime in the future, but we are looking at it. There were some people that asked us to take a look. They're having to drive to either Mineral or Skidmore to dump their trash. They're coming from Blueberry Hill and Chase Field. We are looking at it, but not at this time. It's on hold. Something that the court did and the sheriff's office did several months ago has paid off. We put in a full body scanner at the jail. They had a hit on it. Individual had methamphetamine and the paraphernalia to utilize said methamphetamine, and it was found. So it's already paying off, and that's a good thing. It stopped some things. You can imagine meth is a bad thing, but think of it inside a jail. So that's a good thing. They did good. In Precinct 2, we had a situation where we had a phone call about people dumping trash out on Charcoal Road. Investigation was done. I have to commend Mr. Robbie Guerrero at Community Affairs. He went out there and checked it out. I had been at the ranch. I went by and took a look at it. It looked like somebody was tearing down a house and dumping it on somebody else's property. On this property was this real nice mobile home. Well, through the front door, which was missing, you could see that it looked like animals had been in there, or worse, people that were like animals. Stuff was scattered, it was broken, dishes were in the sink, the mattresses were torn, it was bad. A word to the wise, if you have property that you don't check every week, every 2 or 3 weeks, you better start checking it. There's a lot of people going through the county, going through the area, they're moving into those properties, they're squatters. If you have a camp house, you better check it. If you have a mobile home that say Uncle Fred lived in, but he's in a nursing home now and it's sitting there, you better check it, because when they move in, they sell the stuff that's in there, they trash what's in there, and then they leave. This is a fire hazard, it is a health hazard, and we're looking into it. Now, back to the material that had been dumped on site. Mr. Guerrero did an investigation. He knew of a house that was being torn down in Blueberry Hill. He put two and two together and found out the people that were tearing down the house in Blueberry Hill were taking the stuff from Blueberry Hill and dumping it out on Charcoal Road. With the help of the sheriff's office, we have put a stop to that. They're in the process of getting a roll-off dumpster to put that material in. The deal, according to what we're hearing they had made, was we're going to tear this house down and then we're going to move this mobile home that's sitting out on Charcoal Road to this house place. But after they saw what had happened inside of it, and it's a really nice mobile home. It was not an inexpensive mobile home. It's probably got 5 or 6 bedrooms in it. It's well made. Whoever lived there had money because the furnishings are very, very nice inside. But anyway, word to the wise, check your campsites, check your camp houses, check your mobile homes, check your houses that are vacant. People are moving into them, and they have no respect for what's in there. So on that beautiful note, sir, I will pass to the right.
Unbelievable. Good job. Molly, I want to thank Road and Bridge. You guys went out on 328 and also Kingsler Lane. There was a bunch of tree limbs that were over the road that were catching the farmers' tractors and planters and combines and whatnot. So thank you guys for getting that cleared up. I had several phone calls on that. So, and then also another compliment to Robbie. There was another issue out of West King Lane. Someone had dumped a pop-up camper, just unhooked it, dumped it on the side of the road and left it. Well, Robbie investigated it, found out who it belonged to. Actually, it was stolen, so Robbie actually brought it back to the people who owned it, and then had the lady write a note stating that she is the property owner of this camper, and if it ever comes out on the county road again, that she will take full responsibility. But because of the fact it was reported stolen, so there was no citation issued. But just normal business phone calls about road stuff, about some culverts, different things like that. So, and I've got with you guys on all that. So with that, I will pass to Judge.
Oh, thank you, Commissioner.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you for all y'all's summaries, and Commissioner Lane, we're very glad that you're okay after your electrifying event yesterday. I'd also like to thank Molly Guevara. She's acting as our interim road and bridge administrator as we are going through the process of our previous long-serving road and bridge administrator Ray Gonzalez retired again on July 17th, and Molly stepped into the role, and I've heard nothing but good things so far. So thank you so much for performing this service for the county and for the department and for me. Also, just so as more administrative than anything else to my fellow commissioners, we had a good meeting. This is for public too. There was a good meeting last Friday that I attended with representatives from BDA and BAP with respect to a potential grant opportunity, and GrantWorks was present as well. Kind of just walked us through the potential opportunity. The BDA and the representatives of the BDA think it's probably a viable potential opportunity to receive grant money to improve one or more of the hangars out at the BDA facility for further tenant usage. There's some issues, and I'm sure Commissioner Farias can speak more specifically on that, but the long and short of it is there's potential grant opportunity. The county would act as the pass-through grant administrator for this. Thank you, April, for volunteering your office services in that regard. And so I've set a special called meeting this Thursday at 10 a.m. so that we can discuss it fully and decide whether as a body politic it's something we want to support or not. And then also a public apology. I forgot. It's my fault. It's nobody else's fault. I neglected to re-add to this agenda the 2 items that were tabled from our last agenda. So those have been added to Thursday's agenda as well. Public flogging is acceptable. And my apologies again. Moving on, so that nobody can publicly flog me at this point in time, I'll move on to agenda item number 6. Are there any members of the public who would like to address Commissioners Court? Now is that opportunity. I'll ask one more time. Anybody else?
Good morning.
Yes, sir.
Ruben, of course, is foremost, just to reiterate, that'd be the 27th, sir?
Yes, sir. And I'm so sorry. I meant to come up to you before the meeting started. Thank you for your presence, but if you'd like to go ahead and go.
On the 27th.
Yes, sir.
All right, may I be excused?
You may. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Good morning, we're with Spectrum as well for the same agenda
Oh,
item.
hello, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We come
we're
from the
walking
same-
outside the parking lot.
Yes, yeah, just be waiting. I drive a big black truck, so. Thank you, Jim, and my apologies again sincerely. Okay, anybody else that would like to publicly humiliate the county judge? No? Okay, moving on, I'm going to adjust the order of our agenda items. We have with us today Judge Bauer, and she has a jury trial beginning shortly. So I'm going to move on to discuss and consider action on the following items. Agenda item number 8, discussion on request for additional district court office space. Judge Bauer, you have the floor.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your time and attention, and I am before you. I think most of you know that I am trying to move the 36th District Court to B County at this time. I don't think I've made any secret of the fact that it probably would be a temporary move. San Patricio County is building a new courthouse, and in the interim, the space has become very tight and very difficult for the courts to operate efficiently. It makes the most sense as the B County District Judge for the 36th to move to B County, but it would be a temporary, and by that probably 2 years, maybe 2.5. And frankly, the way buildings go, it may be longer than that. But it would require that the district judges have more office space here in B County. The office space that we currently have, we would still need for the 156th and for the 343rd, as well as those court administrators. And so I've looked around B County a little bit, and I know April's sitting here cringing. I've looked at the Justice Center, and the office space in April's office that is used for storage could, we believe, easily be divided into 2 offices, and then the place right inside the back door that they use for refrigerators and basically a break room, April has said would be sacrificed for our court reporter if the commissioners would agree. I do not know the expense involved, and that's where I need some guidance, because I understand it wouldn't necessarily, I don't know that it would take a bid, but it might take a bid to do that kind of work. But that's why I'm here, is to see if the commissioners would be in agreement to move the 36 to B County, and if so, at least go forward with getting some bids or for the work that it would entail.
At this point in time, really, if there's if the will of the board is to agree to the request, we can probably just vote on that. If anybody wanted to make a motion, and with respect to estimated costs and whatnot, we can see if we're going to be able to fall under the threshold. I think there's a good chance that if we do approve it, that it would be under using local contractors.
Or a co-op.
or
co-op
oh, that's right.
contract.
Judge, if you would,
Yes.
I'll make said motion to add additional district court office space over in the Justice Building, and to assume whatever costs there might be and move forward with it immediately.
Thank you, Commissioner. Every other commissioner seconded it, so we have to put that in the meeting minutes. No further discussion. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes without exception. Moving on, agenda item number 9, discussion on County Court at Law Office.
Oh.
Judge Bauer, you have the floor again, ma'am.
All right, I wanted to discuss with the commissioners briefly our experiences with Live Oak and McMullen County, as well as a proposal that may answer a question that Live Oak specifically has. I believe Judge Liska is getting more on board, and I am kind of waiting to see Live Oak County authorize the creation of county court at law and fund it before B County and McMullen County go forward, because B and McMullen have always been on board with the idea of the creation of county court at law. Live Oak has been a little reluctant because of the expense. At our last TRALA meeting, we noticed a division of the TRALA expenses that would give McMullen County 11% of the expenses. I believe Live Oak had 33%, and then B County had the remainder. We thought, and I use we liberally, the district judges thought that that would be a good initial indicator of the county court at law usage between the three counties, and maybe a good idea on how to divide that expense. Judge Teal, as always, was very generous, and I don't think he would mind taking additional expense on behalf of McMullen County, and I will represent to the commissioners here. McMullen County is really using a lot more time than they ever have because of the
Border prosecution.
the border crossings and human smuggling. We've just about worn out the entire county for jury duty over there. But what has come to the district judge's attention is that the commissioners' courts, and perhaps through the county judges, need to decide before the creation of the court exactly the distribution of the expenses and the jurisdiction that the county court at law would have. We're proposing concurrent with the district judges short of felonies. Well, and I say that state jail felonies and below is what we are recommending. And of course it would be up to the individual county judges how much of that they want the county court at law to preside over. I know Judge Liska enjoys his A's and B's, as he says it, the misdemeanors, and he could certainly retain those even though the county court at law has that jurisdiction as well. So that is, we would really like to see this county court at law created for 2024, because right now the state has a lot of money and they're willing to pay the judge's salary at 100%. And we're afraid if we don't create it during this session, next session, they may not be as generous. And it's one of those where once created, that's kind of how it just keeps on going. And so we anticipate that the state would continue to pay 100% of the judge's salary. That would leave the benefits up to the three counties. And that's another thing for the commissioners to determine is whose employees and where the benefits would be coming from. All of the counties would pay their portion, but the differences between a B County employee and a Live Oak County employee and a McMullen County employee are pretty significant when it comes to the insurance and retirement packages. And so that would be something for the commissioners' courts to decide. I'm just kind of putting everything out there right now.
Thank you so much for the idea.
But our main concern is, and this is just information for y'all, our main concern is that the county court at law be established for January of 2024, just to ensure that it remains funded as proposed in the legislation that's on the books right now. And that in order to get that done, the commissioners' courts somehow need to find some time where all of y'all can get together. Either through your county judges or as a body to determine whose employees, the division of the expenses, and the jurisdiction.
Madam Judge?
Yes, sir.
At this point in time, what do you need from this court? What type of motion do you need?
I really don't need a motion. This is really more informative. I'm just urging the commissioners to talk with Live Oak and McMullen about a time to get together, perhaps with the district judges, where we can get those 3 issues resolved, and then put the creation of the county court at law to the commissioners' courts prior to January, well, really prior to October of this year.
That's the reason I'm bringing it up, because everybody's working on budget right now, and that
Right.
needs to be, because there's got to be a location, utilities, there's a lot of moving parts.
Right. We have found plenty of room, honestly, plenty of room in Live Oak County. The county court at law could either be in the courthouse itself. They have a small courtroom, plus some offices on the 2nd floor that would be sufficient. The district judges also have said that we will give up our offices at the Justice Center for the county court at law, and we believe that that would be sufficient. If B County really wants to house the county court at law judge and staff, then maybe the new district judge's space, I think we could figure something out. The expenses, I don't believe, would make any difference, because they're going to be shared according to the pro rata agreement that the 3 counties come up with. But I don't believe there would be any need for new space if Live Oak was chosen as the seat of the county court at law, and it's obviously centrally located. So just some additional information for the court to consider.
Thank you so much, Judge. Any other questions regarding multi-district county court of law? I think in general we are in support of it. Judge Liska, just for the community, Judge Liska is on vacation, which is well-deserved, so it's not a criticism at all. But he'll be on vacation through the end of the month, and shortly thereafter, Judge Teal and I will get together with Judge Liska and see if we can hammer out general idea and consensus that we can bring back to the individual boards.
Okay.
Looking
Judge,
forward to
thank
it.
you for well explanation.
Well, I don't know. I
Understand.
went through it really quick, and I'm so
Okay.
sorry.
The commissioners over there, all 4 out of the,
Yes, sir. We did a presentation, a much more thorough presentation, at the beginning of this month for Live Oak County, and we were left very uncertain as to the other 4. I cannot represent to this court how the other 4 are feeling. I really can't. I got some very positive feedback from them and some very concerned feedback. I know that we eliminated their chief concern, which was they believed if a county court at law was seated, then that was the judge that everyone would have to go to. And we assured them no, that it just gives them another option. They still can go to the 3 of us with their lawsuits, but they now have the option of a 4th judge. And so that eliminated that concern, and then of course their second concern was the financial impact on Live Oak County, which we really could not address because the division of that expense has not been determined by the commissioners' courts.
thank you.
And for this commissioner's court, we do currently have we've set up an account, and we have a marker of 250 or 300. Did we move it up?
In the county court at law?
Yeah. For the county court of law.
Yes, we set up an initial budget, 150.
Was it 150?
I know there was a court reporter and
I
something
think it's
else.
250.
I think that's our portion, because
I think it's going to be about $325,000 to fully funded. But,
Yes,
yeah,
I did.
we're trying to move forward and include that in our budget.
Yes, and it is
So we
included.
can get
And at the time right now, it's just a third. You know, that's
Third
how
each.
it's a third each right now, because I didn't have any additional direction, so
yeah,
we
we
can.
haven't set up like an
Right.
actual budget.
Judge Steele will take it there.
He probably would.
Well,
I think he's ready to get rid of those misdemeanors.
Well, the judge talked about it.
33%.
I mean, the usage both of the district attorney's office, the district courts, and this county court at law office will be greater than it ever has in the history of McMullen County. Just the sheer, I mean, their interdiction levels have really spiked. So there's a lot more usage there than there ever has been before. So it'll be a great solution because it'll provide our district judges, again, with a little bit more breathing room. They carry such a broad breadth of cases. Any given day, here in B County, the decision was made a few years ago to carve off CPS cases from the district judge's workload. We have a special CPS judge, but that's just for B County. Live Oak County, McMullen County, CPS is still handled by the district judges, and that's one of the areas that the county court of law could easily slide into and, again, allow a little bit more flexibility and breathing room for our district judges, because our district judges don't merely operate in B, Live Oak, and McMullen County. They also operate in Sam Pat and Aransas County. The district has kind of grown a lot, and over the course of the last 20 years or so, is even with 3 district judges sharing the burden, the amount of travel time that they have to engage in decreases their practical amount of time that they can spend in their office taking care of non-bench live courtroom type activities. So there's a lot of fringe benefits that we can't really see until we get it up and running that I think will benefit the whole community and all of our litigants, defendants, civil litigants, as far as ease, accessibility, and completion of cases. So lots of great opportunity. Nothing but upside.
That's
Except
the way
for the
we
money.
see it.
That's the only
Except for the money, but that's the way we see it.
Thank you so much, Judge.
So, absolutely, I appreciate your time. And if y'all have any questions about county court at law or any of the issues I've brought before, I'm available. I'll be upstairs all week. So,
Best of luck to you.
may I be excused?
You may be excused, and thank you for excusing me, Judge.
Oh, absolutely.
As a jury, yeah.
What's your first name?
I had to. And I really wanted to do it. I really, really wanted to do it, but then I was like, no, we've got commissioners.
Well, we can take up the collection if it would help. Put money on it.
Well, they just increased the pay. I think first day is it 20 for jurors? First day,
Yes.
$20. Second day is
September 1.
56. Oh, it's September 1. So it's
September
still
1.
$6 a day.
Yes.
Thank you, Judge, for excusing me.
Yeah. And 58 to sit a day.
That ain't bad. And of course, it's a very worthwhile endeavor, and I encourage everybody to seek out and try to find opportunities to serve in that capacity in your community. Moving back up to agenda item number 7, the following items are of an administrative nature. Commissioners' Court has been furnished documentation on each item, and all such items may be acted upon by one vote without first being discussed separately unless requested by a commissioner or county judge.
Move to approve.
I have a motion.
Second.
My apologies, Commissioner Olivares. I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes without exception. Thank you, gentlemen. Agenda item number 10, approve B County maintenance request to use the B County credit card for the purchase of a 12-foot ladder from Home Depot.
Make a motion to approve.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
So,
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes without exception. Agenda item number 11, approve B County clerk request to use the B County credit card to reserve rooms for the 2023 Crime Records Conference, August 21st through 25th, 2023.
Move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes without exception. Thank you, gentlemen. Agenda item number 12, approve Apple towing agreement between B County and RBEX Inc., DBA Apple Towing Company for the Sheriff's Office.
Move to approve with a couple of comments.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Commissioner DeWitt, you have the floor, sir.
Yes, sir, on packet page 176, term of agreement, I guess we need to put a commencement date. I think it's for 1 year. Is that correct? It
I
doesn't.
didn't submit this.
It did.
I don't know who did it.
And then on page 178, we probably need to change Clayburgh County and City of Kingsville to B County.
Probably so. Thank you, Commissioner
Who,
DeWitt.
does it have the submitting department
Who
on
did?
there?
who put it in the agenda?
Because Ronnie saying that.
Interesting.
The Sheriff's
Yeah.
Office?
Stacy didn't say anything?
No.
Yeah. I I did it. No, I'm just kidding.
Usually didn't, that means it's just us.
Has the sheriff's office-
Stacy Yanta.
Okay, so it's been reviewed by the SO?
I will approve it as effective as of today's date.
Okay.
And then subject to, you amend your motion to correct those two minor
Yes.
novation.
Two
Your
minor.
second.
Yeah, wait a second.
Okay, any further discussion? Thank you for that. Yes, Commissioner DeWitt. Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes without exception. I'll take care of that right at the break. Let me get back to the agenda. No, sir. Agenda item number 13, Hurricane Harvey, Texas General Land Office, GLO, Community Development, Block Grant, CDBG, status and project update. Gentlemen, anything to report?
Just as of Friday, when I spoke to our grant writer, she says he's already getting some ROI requests from some of the projects that are there. I think Pettis and 631.
Excellent.
So they're asking for information, so that means that they must be looking at it.
Let's hope they, hope the lines that we threw in the water catch fish.
And that's a bond I spoke to her on Thursday, and so these will take place.
Excellent.
That's good.
Thank you, gentlemen. Anything further?
That's it, sir.
Okay, moving on. Agenda item number 14, American Rescue Plan, ARP status and projects. Gentlemen, anything to report?
I was asking Commissioner Lenny if we know anything about the bids on the EOC and the auditor's office. Have we gotten at least one?
Still
I
waiting.
haven't seen him.
Not one, and when's the final date? It's coming up pretty quick.
I should have a couple
I
more
think
weeks.
I think it's August 3rd.
August 3rd.
I think,
We've got about a week, and not a bid yet.
Commissioner,
not that I've seen.
I was at a conference and I spoke to a couple other, one judge and another commissioner, and they said they're having trouble with people actually bidding on some of the jobs.
Well,
They've got
you're
lines-
right, that's our issue.
They've
for
got
sure.
lines out in the water and nobody's biting. So
Hmm.
I don't know what we can do about that.
Well, I've definitely talked with Mr. Mercer about my concerns and him increasing his outreach, and he, is adamant about keeping with the CivCast, and just pushing it out that way. And I said, well, that didn't work this last time, so, what's the
Broaden that out.
alternative? And
Is
we've
there-
given him a short list.
Is there an alternative after we've gone out for bids twice legally? Is there anything else we can do?
Twice is really our due diligence.
Right?
So we'd have to get additional direction from our grant admin to see what that second, but to me, 2 times is our due diligence, and so then we go forward.
Target
on-
individual companies.
Ms. Cantu, it's going to be like the Blanconia project. It was so rules that nobody wanted to bid on it.
4 or 5 years ago? we started?
6 years.
It's 6 years ago.
6 years ago.
Do they have bids now?
Oh, they have that one, it's
Oh.
just still waiting on
Okay.
SAM.gov.
Well, let's hope it's not just like that.
Still.
But they ended up,
That's definitely good.
Cheatham and FEMA ended up taking that one request and just saying, hey, if that's the only one that's coming in because of this, show us proof that you advertised, show us proof that you were on newspapers,
Gotcha.
internet, and once you showed the proof, then said, okay, we'll accept that one. You already did all your due diligence.
Gotcha, okay.
So that might end up what.
But we have to have at least one in that scenario. So which?
To say, well, we did do it. No, yeah.
I know, we don't
did
even
get
have one.
We had one sitting there waiting.
But we
to go.
might,
Blanco.
we
Yeah,
still have
the
another
Blanco.
week, and so these are really big requests. So a lot of times it takes until the last day to receive them, so just cross our fingers.
Right.
Judge, that's all we have on the ARP status. Everything else is running along like it should.
Excellent. Thank you, gentlemen. Moving on, agenda item number 15, it's our approved Texas opioid settlement agreements. We have this morning Mr. Dodd with Capolino, Dodd and Krebs LLP, our attorneys. Mr. Dodd, thank you so much for coming in this morning. We're eager to hear what you have to tell us.
Your Honor, due to the sensitive nature of litigation, I think this is best done in executive session.
Okay. Then in that case, public notice is given that the B County Commissioners Court may elect to go into executive session anytime during the meeting to discuss matters listed on the agenda pursuant to the authority granted under Texas Government Code Chapter 551. Immediately before any executive session, the specific section or sections of the Texas Government Code Chapter 551 that provide statutory authority will be announced. Upon completion of the executive session, the Commissioners Court may, in open session, take such action as appropriate on items discussed in an executive session. Mr. Dodd, do you know off the top of your head the specific section of the Texas Government Code that we would operate under for consultation with attorney? I can look it up real quick.
I do not.
Okay, I'll look it up.
I was going to say section 403.
Let's see. y'all, the ladies and gentlemen of the audience, y'all are correct that it's about time for y'all to start walking out, but I haven't actually set it up yet, so you're welcome to stay until I kick you out personally.
And you're here today.
I know, right?
There's names.
Let's
Trained very well, sir.
Okay,
6 weeks.
the time is 9:53 a.m. and it is still Monday, July 24th, 2023. We are coming out of executive session, going back into regular session. And with respect to, we went into closed executive session on agenda item number 15, approved Texas opioid settlement agreements. Are there any motions? Hearing none, we'll move on. We have no additional executive session items, so agenda item number 16, adjournment. Do I have a motion
I'll
to
make a
adjourn?
motion to-
Thank you. I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Thank you for your patience today. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, motion passes without exception. Thank you all very much. Oh, that's right, yeah.
53. Oh, it's over.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, they have to be here.
Thank you, April, for letting me use your pen. I love it. It was so smooth compared to this one.
These are the big
I love
pins,
it.
they're $1.98.